just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the line. I'll take it to the edge where I live 1,000 lives. But maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brett Keenan here from TKA Broadcasting you, bringing you career mode for F1 2016. Now, I know what you're thinking. Brett, you've already put up a video for this. I decided to change up how we're going to be doing things. So it's no longer going to be 100% live broadcasting like I said it would be. Instead, it's just going to be 25% races for the time being. Just having a balanced life a little bit now. Work and everything's getting a bit hectic and whatnot, so yeah, I'm going to be bringing you shorter qualifyings and of course 25% races, still with McLaren Honda, but of course we're also changing our car number because I do a co-op with my friend Alex Little, Pure Axle 69, and he chose car 66 for his career mode. So ultimately we are going to just pick car 15 like we did in by making a different account and then using that one to race online. So I won't be putting up the videos for that co-op, that'll be strictly Alex. So I thought about it and I decided it's probably a little too much to go for with everything at the moment. If I have a bit more of a balanced life with work and all that kind of stuff, then we should be able to put up co-op and other related championships. So we pick our helmet. Now ultimately I hit circle, which actually defaulted the helmet back to its original colouring. So we pick our nationality, car number 15 as expected, putting in our name, pretty obvious, Brett Keenan. So we just go here, simple quick fix to Brett, put in the K, quick fix to Keenan, then the abbreviated name of KEE. So with all that, we're all set to ready to go. We register, choose our team. McLaren Honda, of course, with our teammate Fernando Alonso, as we were in the previous one. So I think rather than just watching all the career mode bases, we're just going to go straight to the race, the qualifying and R&D, so we don't do all the cutscenes in between. I figured that's you've already seen it before, you know what to expect, so with that we'll go straight to practice.
Welcome to our viewers from around the globe. You join us just as today's practice session for the Australian Grand Prix is about to start. So Anthony, lots to do of course in these sessions, lots of programs to run. What are you looking for when you jump in the car for free practice?
Well, you have basic checks first of all. You know, is the car working correctly? What are the track conditions like? And you'll be chasing that as the session goes on. Things like that. Then you start getting into the nitty-gritty of it all, and they become more like test sessions where it's all about gathering new data, testing components, tweaking the setup and so on. So there's only so much actual practice that these drivers need. Most of them will be plenty familiar enough with the track layout, either from previous experience or from the simulator.
So here we are for practice, and with this I decided we're only going to do qualifying pace and track acclimatization because tyre wear takes way too long and it's really difficult to be able to manage it on one video. So rather than doing all the laps here, we're going to do the first flying lap around here in Australia. Of course we do reach our target of 11th, so the objective was pretty much complete there, but we decided to go one little bit better and just go for another lap. So that was the end of the previous lap after the opener, so we do flying laps and then that pretty much starts that lap. So go a little wide going into turn 3, coming into turn 4, you just got to get the car really positioned nicely, hit the apex just, but try not to hit the apex on the outside. Through turn 5, kiss the apex on the outside, give it a bit of gas, preferably 7th gear, into turn 6, turn 7 and then turn 8, nice sweeping corners. We're already about 0.8 of a second up on the first sector, heading into turn 8 and 9. I do tend to lose track of which corner numbers I'm on, so that was 9 I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Turn 10, a big sweeper into turn 11 and 12, the fastest part of the track. Go down in 5th gear, it says 6, I don't generally listen to the suggested gears, so go through turn 12, turn 13, hard on the brakes, 4th gear, usually 3rd actually, but I took it in 4th there. Turn 14 and coming into turn 15, hard on the brakes, 3rd gear corner, it says we go to 2nd, we're right behind our teammate Fernando Alonso, we use him for DRS into turn 16, hit the DRS, and it's a straight blast down to the line. So what are we going to pull out on this time? We're going to do a 129 flat, which actually estimates us in P1, so a bit interesting. I am doing this on Legend AI, just to be clear. Ultimate was a bit much, even for me, but with that we decide to go straight to track acclimatization. We don't go through all the whole return to garage stuff, so we just jump straight into track acclimatization. We're on the medium tyre, we're currently still on top of the timesheets. Ricciardo 2nd, Perez 3rd, and Grosjean 4th. Of course, Perez is on the soft tyres, but then again, we did our time on the super soft. So there's Kvyat now jumping up to P4. So track acclimatization, cross the line, begin the process. Of course, hitting those markers as perfectly as possible. Purple into 1, heading into the 2nd bit with DRS, purple on both, heading down towards turn 3. Hard on the, go 8th gear, hard on the brakes, 3rd gear, have to squeeze in a second, just get that one there, and still got a purple through, so purple in 3, purple in 4, bit wide, miss it there in 4, so I get a red there instead, purple into 5, bit on the grass there, just being a bit cheeky and testing track limits, purple into 6, this was actually a really good lap here, so purple into 7, purple into 8, and then through here it's always quite tricky just to nail it, but we managed to do it. Purple into 9, so far only red in one area. Purple into 10, flying through the gears, 7th gear, 8th gear, hard on the brakes of 6th, 5th, just narrowly missed that one, and then purple into 11 and 12, on the accelerator, coming down the back straight, 8th gear, hard on the brakes, 4th gear, I think we go to 3rd here, yeah we do, and missed that one too, so we get another red. So 2 reds and a whole load of purple. So purple into 14, is it? Yep, purple into 14. Hard on the brakes, completely missed 15. Red and 15. So 3 reds and a whole heap of purples, which is enough to ultimately score the amount of points we need to pass the test. Now I think ultimately when I did this one, I think I missed this one here. Yep, I did, so I ended up just ending the session there, and then jumping straight into qualifying. So with that in mind, let's go to qualifying.
Where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
Well, tyre management is key here, specifically the rears. It's all too easy to overheat and wear the rear tyres as they're punished out of the low-speed corners. Most teams won't be able to avoid some kind of issue here, especially the teams that are running less downforce.
So here we are for qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix. So we just jumped straight into it and go on our flying lap. We're on the super soft tyres as per usual. It's a short qualifying, just one blast. We ultimately did 2 runs in this session. We thought that the first one would actually be really good, but we weren't too sure about it. So we're coming through, I think this is a full lap, so we'll go for a full track lap around the Australian Grand Prix, around the last 2 turns, coming towards the DRS straight into beginning the lap. So 6th gear, 7th gear, 8th gear, hitting about 310 kilometers an hour, hard on the brakes, 4th gear into turn 1 and 2, get on the acceleration, 5th gear, DRS here, hit the DRS perfectly, 7th gear, you just touch 8th gear for a little bit here, hard on the brakes into turn 3, 3rd gear, we actually take it in 3rd gear this time rather than 2nd, and then through turn 4 and turn 5, so the estimated position is 13th, but we really surprised a lot of McLaren people here, so McLaren fans, hopefully you want to watch this because this was a good one. So 3rd gear through turn 6, turn 7 and turn 8. So 7th gear here, you just narrowly miss 8 into turn 9, turn 10, 4th gear, Perez doing a 129.8. So we're still trucking along. 7th gear, 8th gear just for a brief moment, into turn 11 and 12. Hard on the brakes, 5th gear this time, even though I said to go into 6, so that was 12. Kvyat now with a 129.8. So that wasn't too bad for Kvyat in the Toro Rosso, previous Ferrari engine. Turn 13. 4th gear, 5th gear into turn 14. 4th gear, even though it proposes 6th for some strange reason. Turn 15, hard on the brakes, 2nd gear. Hamilton now with a 127.387. 3rd gear, 4th gear, short shifting through the last turn. DRS, use the DRS. I don't think it really gave us much of a gain on the guy in front, and we did something. I didn't actually see it there, so we'll probably see it here. So we did a 128.4, so we at the time it was enough for 3rd, but then I think we started to filter through it, and then just watch as the position starts to change. 4th, I wasn't too bad. 5th, 6th, got a little bit nervous from there, so I stopped it at 7.5 minutes, decide to throw on a set of new super soft tyres. Was completely oblivious about the weather conditions really at the time, so I wasn't really paying too much attention with that, and with it we went straight out for another lap. So ultimately 6th place would have been good for the result, that for the team, but we wanted to go better. We knew that we had the pace. I did make a mistake through one of those sections, I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, we could have done a whole lot better. So we're going to actually go off the commentary for this one, give you a whole lap around Australia without commentary. Enjoy. So there we have it. We have one full lap around the Australian Grand Prix. We're up on the sector splits by 7/10 of a second, and we pull out a 127.7. So with that in mind, we decide that will do. That's enough for P2 at the time. We kind of figured that we might end up getting pipped at the end. For some strange reason, the AI wasn't really punching out a lot of fast laps. A 27 being the best for the team, and we ended up actually qualifying second for the Australian Grand Prix, 0.3 of a second behind Lewis Hamilton. So that is absolutely unbelievable for the guys at McLaren Honda to have their car on P2 on the grid against the three-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. So that's it for qualifying and practice for TKA Broadcasting's Australian Grand Prix. Tune in soon for the race. Like and subscribe. Keep up to date with the TKA Broadcasting channel, and we'll see you on race day.